Hi everyone, it's Levi from Wall Street Survivor, and today we're going to be talking about TipRanks. TipRanks is a very interesting service in the world of financial newsletters, ratings, and stock picks. So we're going to talk about how TipRanks works and ultimately who it's for and whether we think it's worth the money. So a few unique things about TipRanks. It was founded in 2012 and immediately kind of set itself apart by using a pseudo AI model called the Financial Research Engine to scan, analyze, and synthesize information across SEC's filings, research, analysis, market news, and more in order to rank investments. Today's version, however, is a little different. Rather than doing what a lot of other people do, which is looking at the market, looking at all the baskets of stocks and equities out there and analyzing investments, what TipRanks does is rank and analyze the analysts. Essentially, their primary goal is to help you decide who is worth following for advice and education around the markets. So it's not really a stock picking service as much as it is a service for helping investors sift through all the advice that's out there and deciding what's good, what's bad, and what's just okay. They do have picks and newsletters, but those are kind of a secondary service. We can talk about those a little bit later. But again, the fundamental idea is, how do you find good advice out there? How do you rank and compare those against each other? And how do you know who to trust? So TipRanks pulls in all kinds of information: financial publications, money bloggers, financial advisors, hedge fund managers, and a whole host of other professional investors and financial experts. They've built an algorithm that evaluates the advice that is given and the advice on an analyst or professional basis. And they kind of assign ratings to all of these experts. All of this analysis gets wrapped up into three major criteria. The first one is success rate. TipRanks monitors over 96,000 different experts and tracks every recommendation and piece of content that they put out there. At the end of the year, each recommendation is marked as a win or a loss, and that affects their success rate. Next is average return. TipRanks measures each expert's average return over 1 year, and then that data is all averaged out over all their transactions, and that counts towards their ranking. The final metric is statistical significance, which tracks the number of recommendations that the experts make. And so the more recommendations and transactions make, the higher that number goes. All of this is meant to determine whether the experts that they're analyzing are actually giving advice that helps investors. So besides these rankings, what other services does TipRanks offer? So they recently started 4 different newsletters, all focused on different types of investing philosophy. One is designed for growth, one is for value, one is for dividend-focused investing, and one is for followers of their smart investor portfolio. So depending on what type of investor you are or what type of investing you want to be doing, they do offer sort of different products in newsletter form for those different types of investors. Again, these are all relatively new. They do include stock picks, and generally it's kind of a once-a-week basis where they're announcing these new picks. But besides the newsletters, they do have a free version of TipRanks with the ratings, the research analysis that they do. They have 2 different premium paid levels of subscription, and then the 4 newsletters. So TipRanks Premium costs $30 a month. You can follow 30 different stocks. TipRanks Ultimate includes access to unlimited analysis and really is their highest level of subscription, and that costs $50 a month. And then their newsletters range anywhere from a few dollars a month up to around $25 a month. And their model is that it costs less over time. So if you commit to a longer period of being a subscriber, then the cost per month drops down. So if TipRanks is something that sounds interesting to you, we will include a link to it in the description, and we actually have a 40% off TipRanks Premium for Wall Street Survivor subscribers. So please check out that link in the description if this sounds interesting to you. It is a relatively unique product out there for, again, figuring out which experts are trustworthy and have a track record of good advice. They do offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can kind of try this risk-free. And because it's really a good starting place for figuring out who is trustworthy and why, it's a great resource for beginner investors, especially with a discount. So hopefully this video was helpful. Leave a comment down below with any questions or thoughts for me. Give it a thumbs up if you liked this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.